All right, guys, welcome to our last week of DECA programming. So we're going to start with our Prodigy Fit programming next week. So I hope you guys are really excited about that. Honestly, if you're just used to doing these workouts, not too much is going to be different, okay? Skill levels are going to be a little different, stuff like that, but for the most part, you guys should go unchanged. However, having said that, this is like DECA's like test week, so that's kind of cool. So we're going to be finishing up with DECA and then starting a new cycle with some new things in mind. So starting out, the best way to start out any Monday, 1 rep max back squat. I love doing 1 rep max back squats on Monday. I love doing 1 rep max back squats anytime. I like back squatting in general. So you guys have 20 minutes to complete this, which depending on your skill level can be a lot of time or not a lot of time. Sometimes it takes people about 30 minutes to kind of get going. So if you know that you need some extra time to warm up and really get your body right, make sure you come into class a little bit early, stretch out a little bit more, maybe take some light back squat weights to start before class even starts, just so that you can jump in and kind of work up a little bit faster. So the way I always like to think about doing any kind of 1 rep max is start where I want to like finish and work my way down. So if I know I want to finish with a 400-pound back squat, I'm going to work back and say, okay, well before that I want to make sure I hit 385, I want to hit like 350, 300, somewhere in there, and then maybe like 200, something like that, 220. So I work my way backwards. That way I have a plan when I go in. Say, okay, I know I'm going to hit this for 3 reps. I'm going to hit this for 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way up. And that way you can have like an effective time management skill, right? So now you can see, okay, I have 2 minutes to rest in between here, or I want 3 minutes to rest at the end. It's just a really simple way to make sure that you're getting the best score that you can get. And ask your coaches if you guys have any questions about this. It's not that hard. Just be like, hey, I have a question. After that, a 15-minute AMRAP that looks miserable. 20 calories on the bike. So that's one of those, like it can be a minute, it can be 3. It just really depends on like the wattage that you're putting out. Depends on if you're the C2 on the Assault bike or on the Echo bike. It really just kind of depends on where you're at on that one. 20 wall balls. Honestly, I would say normally you're looking to go unbroken on a set of 20 wall balls. Just because you really should be scaling the weight down if you're not going to hit that target. However, just because it's a 15-minute AMRAP and you did back squats right before that, I would say break them up into 10s or even 5s. Again, just going on that same model of you're doing this for 15 minutes, do your 5, step back for a second, take a deep breath and get back on it. Unless your aerobic capacity is there that you can knock out all 20, then go for it. 20 pull-ups, again, this is one of those, if you're doing butterfly, it's going to be fairly simple to kind of just get going, knock out 10, hop down, hop back up, boom, boom, boom. If you're kipping, maybe you're breaking them off into 5s. If you're scaling, that's one of those where you might be able to go 20 unbroken. If you're able to do that, you want to kind of lower that load. So if you're using a band either tied up over top or in the J-hooks, you want to make sure that you either lower that band down if it's tied up in the J-hooks, or if it's hanging, get a thinner band, okay? You really want to push yourself on these, because you're looking at anywhere from like, this is one of those where it depends on where you're at. I mean, you could get 5 rounds, you could get 3. It really just depends. It's a really big workload. It depends on how much you hit with the back squats beforehand. So just be aware of where you're at. Not a big deal, like not a like a crucial make or break workout. Just something to get really the aerobic capacity up and really get tired. Okay. When you guys are biking, by the way, I just noticed this in class the other day. Try not to like lean over so much. Like change your position, stand up and like breathe. Because when you're like this all the time, it really compresses that chest. Okay. So unless you're like trying to suck air and you're putting your hands up on something, which is again using a bunch of muscles to help you breathe, this motion here with your hands nice and tight, or even on that bike leaning over, isn't helping you. Sit up every now and then, take some deep breaths. If you have to come up off the wattage, I mean, you can come up off it, it's not that big of a deal. Get yourself together and then start hitting it again, okay? And again, really push with those legs, all right? Cool. So have fun with this one, and we'll see you through the rest of the week.